Okay, so I just watched the latest episode of Deadliest Warrior, the U.S. Army Rangers versus the North Korean Special Operations Force. And before you watch this, I'm not gonna review. I mean, I know it's like the first live episode, but I kind of skipped over the live parts because I didn't really care. I'm gonna review the episode. So, first off, I'm gonna start. Even though the Rangers won, and everybody like okay, not everybody. The majority of people thought the Rangers were gonna win. Don't you think the score they got is a kind of a bit of a slap to to the people who thought the Rangers were gonna win? I mean, like people said the Rangers were gonna win, but they also said, like majority people said the Rangers were gonna win this by a landslide, and yet this is the closest they've ever gotten. I mean. If they still did these matches by 1,000 matches, it would be 499 to 501. But that's how close this battle was. Like, because the numbers are kind of weird, so it wouldn't make sense with 1,000. But anyways, I don't know. It feels like to me, if like I didn't really care who won. Like not talking based on ideologies or love of country or any of that. I'm just saying I'm watching the show and I'm just curious as to who they pick would win. So I didn't really have a preferred group to win. But they had the section where people voted who they thought would win, and it was a 78% for the Army Rangers and 22% for the North Koreans. And yet the score is so close, I can't help but think it's a slap to all those people who said the Rangers are gonna win this landslide. Anyways, on to the actual episode. It was okay. I mean, like, they really stressed that on this episode that this is the only matchup that could actually happen. They really stressed on that, and you might think it's distasteful, but not really. I mean, it's not like they're saying it's not like they're trying to egg on for a war or something. It's just they're just saying it could possibly happen. So we're just doing these tests to see who may come out on top. Even though that's a different question. That's a whole different situation. But anyways, so besides harping on the whole North Korean U.S. Army Rangers might actually happen thing, they also really stress the fact that this um, this is a psychological psychological warfare. So it was like based they had a lot of like tests where it was just based on how much they could like make the enemies scared of them. Like for example, the special weapons test. They had the North Korean box mine, which is basically a mine, against the Claymore. And when they did the test, all they could talk about was how scared the enemy group might be if they see that go off. Like Dr. Dorian went on and on about how the box mine is like since since when it blows up, it'll imprint into the enemy's minds that I could be in a field with a whole bunch of mines. So that would lead into psychological warfare, which is an X factor. They stressed that a lot in this episode. And in another test, they also talked about. No, wait, was it? No, not the medium range. I meant the long range, with the sniper rifles. They were talking about like, oh, if we shoot the commander, everyone goes crazy, and it's like, yeah, that's all they could talk. It's like I'm starting to see a pattern here. Like each episode, they're gonna talk about a certain X factor. Like in the George Washington expert, they really stressed on logistics, like how these men, how George Washington, Napoleon would like strategize and stuff. I mean, like there's like a certain X factor that's gonna be, I'm sorry. There's like a certain X factor that's gonna be stressed out in each episode, and in this episode, it was psychological warfare. And also leading on that, I actually forgot to mention I'm gonna go back to the other topic where they were stressing that this could happen in real life, because this ties in with the psychological theme. Um, they wanted to tie this into, um, they wanted to make the simulation feel as real as possible. So this is the first matchup in the series entirety where they actually revealed where they're fighting. It's they actually call it the Korean Peninsula because apparently to them they predicted that if World War III were to ever happen, it's gonna take place in Korea. So they might as well just said it in Korea. So um, they tie this in with a psychological theme where it's like the North Koreans, they know their terrain, so they can play around with the terrain, and they'll be able to watch the U.S. Army Rangers every step they take. And on the Rangers side, they stress the fact that the Rangers could adapt to any situation, which is true. I mean, the Rangers are known for that, and they really just stress on and on and on about how much more real they can make this battle, like how much more realistic they can make this possible World War III confrontation be. And I know I'm trying to make it sounds like I'm making it like negative, but it's actually kind of cool. I mean, when they do this, I mean, like it's the first time I actually felt that they were really trying to figure out who'd win. Okay, that doesn't really make sense, but it's like when you watch the other episode, like seasons 1 and 2, it's like the results they come up with, it's like you can throw it away because they leave out so much in those episodes. In this new season, it's like they're bringing in all these new factors, and each episode's it's deleting more and more holes. They're trimming it down to where they can actually have a result where everyone can believe. I mean, that's why the results are getting a lot more closer and closer than the last seasons where the results were like far away. But anyways, yeah, I'm liking I'm liking how they're trying to make the show a lot. They're trying to make each simulation a lot more realistic. So maybe this is the only episode they're gonna do it um, just because this is the only battle that they have that could actually happen. I mean, maybe they're making it as real as possible only in this episode because of that situation. But if they keep continuing on with this kind of, if they keep trying to like make it more realistic as possible in future episodes, Deadliest Warrior can actually, I'm not gonna say like it's gonna have the certain result, but it's gonna have results that people can actually believe now. I'm gonna go into now the details of the episode. I'm rambling now. Okay. The episode itself, they tested they had 4 categories for both sides. There were medium range, long range, special weapons, and hand-to-hand combat. And this is weird for me because they left out sidearms for some reason. I wanted to know what sidearm the North Korean Special Forces uses. They probably use, what was it, the Makarov pistol? I don't know. I don't know anything about the NKSOF. But I'm assuming they use a Makarov because, you know, Russia and... Okay, anyways. So in each test, like I said, each test represented a situation where it's like they try to make it as real as possible. So in the long range test, they tested their rifles in, like, there was a camp, and there was a counter sniper on the other side, and there was a chain link fence. So it's like a fortress. And in the medium range test, it was just your standard just storm a base. And hand to hand, they just like they brought in like this Korean guy instructor to demonstrate demonstrate the martial arts, which was kind of cool. And for the mines, they had a field, so it's like they always have a field for explosives. Now for the tests themselves, I noticed that like in the past episodes, the reasoning for giving the weapons the edges, it was mainly based on like who got the fastest time or who got the most kills, so which pissed me off. And in this new season, like I mean, they still kind of did it in this episode, and they also did it kind of in the past episodes. But in this episode, it's like they actually gave some actually very good reasons why they gave the edges to the weapons they gave. Like for long range weapons, they gave the edge to the Americans because um, what was it? It was the SR-25 had less recoil and it had more rounds in its mag, so which is actually good reasoning. What was I talking about? Oh yeah. So they gave the edge to the AKM because it's more real. They said it was more reliable and had more stopping power. They gave the edge to the Claymore because um, it actually can kill a lot more people than the mine, and mines are designed to harm like one guy. And they evened it out with hand-to-hand combats, and I would have been pissed if they did not even it out with the hand-to-hand combats, because there is no way in hell you can give an edge in a hand-to-hand combat to any hand-to-hand combats, because hand-to-hand combats, to my knowledge, is supposed to counter each other. It's like they're not designed to be better than the other. Like I don't know. It's kind of like there's always a counter to everything. So to say one martial arts is better than the other, it's a little too extreme. So I'm happy that they said it's even. So besides the test, they also gave out the X factors, which surprised me because like even though the Army Rangers had the more weapons edges, the North Koreans really had the X factors, and it's mainly because they said it's in the home territory, so you can you they get they really get the X factors for that. But anyways, then we have the final simulation. Final simulation, it's I know I criticized the last two simulations for being a little boring, but this simulation was better than the last two. I mean, it was a lot more exciting, and I wouldn't say more drama to it or more it wasn't a situation where like you really didn't know who would win. It's like it how am I trying to explain it? It's not memorable. I mean, when you look back in season 1 and 2, they had a lot better simulation. So this when you see this match simulation, it was all right, and it was actually kind of dark too in the factory. So you couldn't really. It was kind of hard to tell, like in the final battle between the last Ranger and the last North Korean. It was really hard to kind of tell what was going on. You can still tell what's going on, but it was kind of hard to see. So it was an okay simulation, and yeah. So final thoughts. It was an okay episode. I mean, it was better than the last two, and the episodes are getting better. I mean, like I said, I'm liking how they're trimming it down. They're really trimming all the holes down so like they can get the best result they can possibly get. So which I like. So this show still has problems, but it's improving. Like it's like based on this episode and the pattern from the last two episodes, the show is really improving.